Hello fiction fans, T.H. Leatherman here. Today we're going to discuss the top 10 fears that writers have. Writers are kind of fearful people. Most of them are introverts, so, they have a hard time being in front of people. And when you live with that much fear, sometimes it's difficult to get words down on the page. What if people don't like my story? What if I can't make a living doing this? There's a lot of fear involved. So this is the top 10 list of things that writers fear and how to overcome them. Fear number 1, lack of talent. I'm not talented. I don't know enough. I'll never know enough. Get over it. No writer is ever going to know everything. Some writers are good at some things, other writers are good at other things. The best thing for you to do is to have other writers read your work. Go to a critique group. Find other writers to read your stuff. Find editors to read your stuff to make it better. Stop worrying that you don't have enough talent. Find ways to make your talent better. Another thing writers worry about is imposter syndrome. Everyone's going to figure out I'm a fraud. Guess what? If you've published a book, you're not a fraud. If you're doing everything you need to do to produce a good book, then you're writing good quality material. That includes having writer friends look at your work and hiring editors. These people will keep you honest. If you're doing these things, you're not a fraud. Fear number 2, no one likes it. If you're writing a story and you're putting your heart and soul into your work, at some point in time you're going to wonder, is anyone really going to like this? This fear is one of the things that keeps people from writing in the first place. If you're always worried that it's not going to be good enough, then you'll never get words down on the page. Put yourself out there. Join a critique group of writers that write the same thing you do. If they like the story, chances are there are going to be other people out there who like it as well. Never worry that you're not good enough. Fear number 3. I don't have enough writing education. You can never have enough writing education. Some people have master's degrees and doctorates in writing. These people probably have enough knowledge about writing. These people also struggle with writing. The best thing that you can do is to spend time every week learning about the craft of writing. Pick up books on writing. Read them. Don't let them sit on the shelf. Talk to other writers. Have them read your work. Ask them what they think of it. My degrees are in business and psychology. I do not have a degree in writing. What did I do to overcome this? I read lots of books on writing, and I talk to other writers, and I go to conferences on writing. I do everything I can to improve my craft. The fact that I don't have a degree in writing doesn't bother me, because I've done enough reading on my own because I wanted to be a writer. Fear number 4, rejection. Oh my gosh, this person just wrote a horrible review over my book. Yes, you're going to get lots of bad reviews. Stephen King, J.K. Rowling, all the great writers, they get bad reviews. Guess what? They write anyway. If you go the traditional route and you put your work in front of agents and editors, you're going to get a lot of rejection. J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter was rejected 12 times before it was accepted. I know of writers that have been rejected over 100 times before their first work was accepted, and then they went on to become very good and very successful writers. Rejection is part of being a writer. Develop a thick skin. Move on. Fear number 5, fear of finishing. A lot of writers have partially completed works, things that they haven't quite finished the story yet, because they get halfway along and then they get bored with it and they move on to something else. This is bad. It is true that if you're getting bored with your writing, your readers will get bored with your writing too. That's no reason to stop. If your writing is getting boring, chances are you need to throw something in there that's going to spice it up a little bit. In the words of Mickey Spillane, if the story is starting to lag, introduce a gun. Some people say introduce a bat. Whatever works for you. Basically, introduce a complication that gets the story moving again. Never make things easy for your characters. Fear number 6. My stuff isn't good enough. As writers, we are always growing and improving our work. Oh my gosh, I hate it. I'm going to delete all of these chapters. Don't do it. Yes, you may write a bad chapter every once in a while. It's okay to take those bad chapters out of your book and write a new chapter to replace it. Never get rid of those chapters because before the book is published, you may decide to put one of those chapters back in. Just rewrite it. Spice it up a little bit. Find something that does work. Every writer feels that their work is not quite ready when it's published. This is okay. It's normal for writers to always want to improve their work. At some point in time, though, you have to click publish and let it go. If you never click publish, you never know whether or not you're going to be a good writer. Fear number 7. Other writers are more successful than I am. I know a lot of writers. We can hang out together. We do stuff together. It's fun. A lot of these writers are more successful than I am. You know what I say to that? Great! I'm happy they're having so much success. The fact that I'm not quite as successful yet just means I haven't written enough books. You know what sells the last book? Writing the next book. Keep writing! The more books that you put out there, the more likely you are to have success. Think of each book as a lottery ticket, except that the odds are a lot better. Eventually, one of those books is going to be a success, and then your career will take off. Fear number 8. I'm writing in the wrong genre. There are all sorts of genres out there. Some people like to write romance. Some people write historical fiction. I write science fiction and urban fantasy. This is what I enjoy writing. Whatever it is, if you're passionate about it, keep writing! If you're passionate about what you're writing about, it'll come through on the page. Don't worry about what the most popular genre is at this time. If you're following the trend, chances are by the time your book is ready, the trend will be over. Don't follow the trend. Be a trendsetter. Fear number 9. I don't have enough time to write. Before you become a full-time writer, you're probably doing some other job and writing on the side. This is something you're passionate about, you will find the time to write. I write while my kids are doing homework. In the weekends, I wake up before everyone else and I go to my computer and I start writing. When I can find spare time, guess what I'm doing? I'm writing! That doesn't mean I ignore my family. I spend time with them too. The important thing is to set a schedule and get your writing done. And again, if you're passionate about it, you'll find the time to write. Make a schedule and stick to it. Guard your writing time jealously. Fear number 10, money. If you're writing for the money, boy, have I got some bad news for you. Chances are you'll have to write several books before you start making money as a writer. That's just the way it is. You need to build up a few titles before you can actually make money as a writer. The people who knock it out of the park with their first book, very few and far between. Face it, if you're a writer, you're an artist. It'll take a while before you're appreciated for your art. Find time to write on the side. The more books you put out there, the more chance you're going to have to be able to make a living as a writer. So bottom line, keep writing. So my advice to writers out there, keep writing. The more you write, the better you get at it. The more books you have out there, the better chance you have to be a success at writing. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel. I post weekly. If you have a question or topic you'd like for me to cover, message me on Facebook. Check out my book, The Burning Sun, now 99 cents on Amazon for a limited time. If you enjoyed this episode, like or comment below. So long, fiction fans!